Yeah, absolutely. No problem.
So when and why did you and your family get into RVing?
I think in November of 2019. My husband and I have always been fascinated with Airstreams ever since we've known each other. We've been together now for over 20 years. And I was on Craigslist one day and found this Airstream Argosy down in Cle Elum. We're like, let's just go check it out. So we drove over one day when my daughter was in school, and we came home with it. And it was a shell, to be honest. And we're like, what are we going to do with this thing? But the big reason why we did it was because my daughter ski races for
Okay.
Stevens Pass. She needs to be on the hill at 8 in the morning, and she's not done till 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And it was a lot. So we decided that we were going to try to get an RV that we could test up there and just be up there so she could train. Took our hands at winterizing Big Betty, and it was the best thing that we ever did. So we mainly winter camp, which is fun and unusual.
So then what has RVing taught you?
The need for nothing. Really, in all honesty, it's taught me that you really don't need a lot to survive, and you don't need a lot to make yourself happy. I love my RV. We just bought a brand new house, and honestly, I would have lived in my RV.
So how long have you been skiing and mountain biking, or you and your
Oh,
husband
gosh.
or your family? Or I'm kind of, yeah.
Oh, goodness. So I've been skiing since I was 7. My husband and I ski raced in college together, so a long time. My daughter was on skis just before her 3rd birthday. She's now 13, and she trains now. This year, it was 21 hours a week that she was training.
Okay.
So we were in the camper a lot.
Stevens Pass just recently closed for the year, at least from the ski season perspective. But for the listeners who may not be familiar with Lot F, can you tell me about it? Kind of set the scene. What's it like? What's the vibe like? Kind of tell me a bit about Lot F.
It's a really amazing community and culture of like-minded individuals that come together, are there for one purpose. And that's to enjoy skiing, and the amazing part of being able to ski in and ski out. It's this weird family culture. I mean, it's crazy. Like, we all have, sweatshirts and, little wine mugs and stuff. And it's cool. The lot is definitely a family. If you are new and you come up there and it's your first time, RVing at the lot, people that are there every single weekend are welcoming, and it's inviting. We call it the biggest dog park in town too. So we always encourage people that when you're driving through the parking lot, you got to go slow, because dogs are off leash and they're just running around and having a good environment. There's fire pits out everywhere. Kids are scaling the back of the ski resort on the main area, and sliding down the plow wall. You've got poop hill in the back for all the dogs, so that it's just great. It's a really great family environment, and it's one that we love and are so thankful that Stevens Pass is going to continue it. So,
did they announce already for next season they're going to continue it?
They
Good, that's
did.
great.
Yes.
So how long have you and your family been camping in Lot F?
Well, we did a trial run, not with Big Betty, in 2018. So since 2018, we've been going up there. I would say we are there every single weekend from the first weekend in December until usually middle of April. And over Christmas break, because Stevens Pass Alpine Club runs a ski camp, we're usually up there from about Christmas Day until New Year's Day. And we come home to shower and do a load of laundry.
So I have wanted numerous times to go and do a ski in, ski out. So can you tell me logistically, how are they kind of fitting everybody in there?
Yeah, it's there's definitely strategy to it. A couple of things is, specifically with Stevens Pass, you have to be prepared with chains. Like, you can't not operate in Stevens parking lot, getting up that hill, navigating around the tight corner without having chains ready for you to need and use to get into the lot. And then once you get into the lot, you can pull through, and the recommended maneuver, so to say, is to drive all the way down, like pick your spot, but drive all the way down to the end of the lot and then turn around. So you make a full, loop around and then go ahead and back it in. There's a definite, you need to follow the angles, obviously, because there are no lines for, like parking spots. And I believe it might be
30 degrees. I think
it is 30 degrees, but I think it's also 3 RVs to 1 electrical pole.
So there is the electric up there.
Yeah, there is electric. There's no water,
right,
but there is electric. Yeah. So I think it's 3. So that's kind of what you gauge on, right? So like if you're going to back into an electrical pole and you're the very first person, usually what you want to do is you want to square off and you want to be the middle person. That way people know that they can go on either side of you. And we don't leave a lot of room, right? I mean, like you leave some room like between each other and whatnot, but we really do try to pack as many people in there as we possibly can. So you don't create like a big yard space for yourself,
Right.
Get close with your neighbors. It's just what's going to happen. As far as the plowing goes, so there's no parking up there on Tuesdays. And Stevens Pass does a really good job of plowing on Tuesdays to make sure that the lot is flat and cleared for people. So that's great. And if they get snow in between, like they're sending up plows. So you're going to hear a plow at 6 a.m, 5 a.m, 4 a.m. It's
right.
just kind of how it works. You also want to encourage everybody to bring their own shovels because you're going to be shoveling.
Well, we're going to get into that. I have a little bit of like rapid fire logistical questions.
Yeah.
So I was just going to say then, how do you handle, snow on the roof of your RV, kind of your sewer vents and your bathroom vents and those kind of things? I mean, are you constantly like up needing to shovel off the top of your RV just because that snow load and whatever?
Yeah. I mean, we are pretty good about taking off the snow. We've got we just have a big brush. Airstreams aren't that tall.
Right.
So you can get up there. Even me, I mean, I'm only 5 foot, so I can get up and take a brush and bring down the snow onto the side in between RVs for sure. If you have a regular RV, I mean, people are up on the roof shoveling, and making sure to shovel off snow if you're getting snowed on. That's key. That's just something to be expected.
Yep. So then when it is dumping snow, where are you managing to put that snow? Are you just kind of bringing it off the sides and then pushing it behind your trailer? Or are you putting it in the front?
Wherever you can find space. Usually what we do is we try to shovel it off into the front of the RV and in front of all your vehicles. That way, when the plows come through, they're moving that snow to the back. But again, that creates berms. So it's a community-wide effort.
Yeah, I can imagine. So do you stay hooked up then, or do you unhook your tow vehicle?
We unhook. We unhook the vehicle. You're not allowed to keep it hooked up unless your trailer is so short that you're able to fit. It's still hooked up. But no, you unhook and then you angle your vehicle in front of your trailer as close as you possibly can.
And then that creates kind of the road.
Yeah, it creates
the circle path of the road, if you will.
Yeah, correct.
Okay.
Your other question about lines and everything else and freezing. I mean, it's a thing, people, you definitely need to winterize your camper. I mean, even regardless of being hooked up, most people run 2 space heaters for your camper, especially if you have a 26 foot, like our Airstream is a 26 foot Airstream, and we have one that runs off of the back bathroom, and then we plug one into the front so that we don't blow a circuit. But you keep those going. When it's really cold out, you definitely want to bring your own water, just in case your water lines freeze, which happens probably maybe 40% of the time to us.
Right. So then toilet, right? I mean, are you still using your toilet on board, or are you?
Yep. Oh yeah, we still use the toilet on board. We bring gallons of antifreeze and put that into our, every time you go, you just put a little bit of
So the
antifreeze
pink
down
drink,
there.
you're saying you drop the pink drink down it.
Pink drink, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Have you ever, I don't want to say been trapped, but let's just say stuck, where you kind of, whatever, it's Sunday night, you're ready to go home and you're like, we're going nowhere tonight.
Yeah, we were stuck up at Stevens for 9 days once.
Tell me about that.
It was awesome.
Yeah. I'm assuming you brought your hotspots then. So at least.
Yeah, that is one thing. Certain cell towers do not work up there. So yeah, you definitely need your own hotspot. I definitely recommend a WeBoost of some sort if you're going to plan on working up there. It was interesting. We got dumped on with a ton of snow. This was the December of 2019, or it may have been 2020. I can't remember. But either way, no, it was 19. It was December of 2019. We got dumped on with a ton of snow, and actually, right before like dinner time, the pass had closed in both directions. So anybody that was up at Stevens, like no one was getting in, no one was getting out. I think they closed it for like 24 hours or something crazy, because we ended up having, we were inside the lodge, and there was like maybe 80 people in the lodge, in the Pacific Crest Lodge. And it was all people that were stranded there, like don't have RVs, right? Like don't have RVs. And everybody in the RV lot was like, it was awesome. It was such a great community. Like people were like bringing in food to the lodge from their own, RVs.
Yep.
Yeah, because Stevens Pass had sent most of their staff home. So like none of the restaurants were open. They were trying to get all their staff home, for the evening to like get ahead of the storm. And so we were all bringing in food and serving a bunch of people, and there were people sleeping in their cars in the RV lot, because they didn't have anywhere to go. So yeah, it was pretty gnarly, but
that
it was
sounds
cool.
like that was a one-off. I mean, have you been, or has it happened more than once?
Oh yeah, it's happened more than once.
Okay.
But Stevens, yeah, it's happened more than once. And it's mainly because the road gets closed, the highways gets closed. So you really have to pay attention if you're planning on moving or leaving with your vehicle. Plan accordingly, because it's not unusual for Highway 2 to randomly close for avalanche or an accident or whatever it might be. So you have to be able to go with the flow.
Yep. Okay. What have I not asked that I probably should have asked?
Yeah, get there early. That's key. Getting there in the evening can be difficult, to navigate. I mean, if you can get up as early as you can, that's like kind of the key to making sure that you're getting into a spot that you can maneuver easily. You got your 30-foot spot when you're coming in, lookers right as your 30. I think that's the 30-foot spot, and then the 40-foot spots are on the left. Depending on your vehicle, it's really frowned upon if you're 26 feet.
In a
go
40.
over yeah.
No, totally. That's just bad etiquette. I get it. I do want to ask how the reservation systems work.
It's stressful. I'm not going to lie. It opens up. They always pick a date in November or December when it opens up, and they open up 50% of all of the available dates. And so you have to be in front of your computer and ready to reserve and pay. And then it does change from year to year. Some years they've got a policy where Tuesday before you're going to rent, then they open up the other 50%, or they open up 25%. So my recommendation is just at the beginning of the ski season, come November, familiarize yourself with the reservation system on Stevens site. I'm sure it may even change for next year, especially because they just made the announcement of their new GM. So that be prepared that policy could change. I would offer up some of my secrets, but I'm also not going to offer up
No,
some of
you-
my secrets.
Yeah, no, I respect that. I understand that. And that's where you got to live and learn.
Yeah, it's definitely growing pains. You have to go through the
Yep. I
stress
feel
of
like that's part of it. Yeah.
yeah, it's definitely, there's a strategy though.
Okay.
I think a good time to come, like if you're a new person, if you're a newbie and a rookie at, navigating your RV in the wintertime, I think that the best time to come is March.
Yeah.
Really. And, mid-March, the skiing is always still really good. It's spring. You'll get a vibe of like what the RV parking lot is like. Force yourself to navigate up that steep driveway, but it's a low risk area. It's a low risk time where you're probably not going to freeze, probably not going to, get dumped on with a ton of snow, And so I would say for anybody who's new, aim for March.
Gotcha. That's actually that's a good tip. So what is your most favorite national park and why?
Oh gosh. Glacier.
Okay.
That whole area of the country is just, yeah. So I want to bike that.
Yeah.
When it's closed to cars. That's my goal. That's a bucket list of mine, is to get out there and do that.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, really want to do that.
So tell me a bit more about where can listeners find you online?
Most of my postings, actually all of them, are on Instagram. And it's Norm and Betty Adventures. Norm, Betty Adventures. Norman is our dog. Norm, he has grown up in Big Betty, and he is the best camper dog ever. So Norm, Betty Adventures on Instagram. Follow us.
Wonderful. Well, Meg, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me today. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely, Brooks. No problem. Yeah. Let me know anytime if you're out and about.
Absolutely. I will definitely be searching out Betty and you guys when we make it to the lot this next season.
Awesome.
All right. Thank you.